Hey everyone, how you doing? Thanks for checking out my video. My name is Josh, my channel Urban Armed. If this is your first video, thanks for stopping by. If you're a subscriber, I really appreciate it. Definitely subscribe if you like my content. I have a lot of cool stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks actually. And that's part of why I'm making this video, is because I am changing out some of my gear. I wouldn't call it recovery gear, but kind of recovery. Recover yourself, whether it's jumping your battery, fixing a tire, airing down, airing up, that kind of thing. So either helping yourself out or a fellow driver with you. So this is a Jumpbox I've had. It weighs about like 20, let's see, about 25 pounds. And it's big, it's bulky. It takes up a lot of space, but it's, you know, it served its purpose. I've had it for probably 7 years, maybe 8. And it's a Jumpbox. It's an air compressor. Has a 12-volt output on it. And I've been using it for off-roading purposes and camping. For my rooftop tent, I've been using it because it has a 12-volt plug-in, and the rooftop tent has a light bar on the inside with some charging ports. So I'll just leave this in the bed of the truck. Obviously, I don't have a rooftop tent on this one. I have it on my Tacoma, and it powers everything, and it's worked out well for that. But as of recently, I've been using it for when I go off-roading, particularly in the Land Cruiser, and it hasn't really been that efficient for me. It has a hose on the back that you plug into your tire, your valve stem on your tire to, you know, fill it up, and I've been using that to kind of air it down, which is terrible. It sucks. And then airing up, it's designed to be an emergency, right? In a pinch, it'll get the job done. But for using it a lot, airing up tires going from 15 to 18 PSI up to 40, it takes all day. And people I've been with have aired up all of 4 of their tires using a compressor, a dedicated compressor, and I'm just moving on to the second tire. So it hasn't really worked that great for airing down or up. And it hasn't worked that great as a Jumpbox in the last few months. I've used it and ended up having to go to another vehicle with jumper cables and just go from one vehicle to the other because it couldn't jump start an F-250. Well, you know, I've used it to jump start cars, and that's what I was initially planning to use it for, and it's great for that. So I'm going to talk about some of the items that I'm replacing this with. Okay, so for the Jumpbox capability, I picked up the NOCO Boost HD, which is a 2000 amp 12 volt Jumpbox, and it says that it will do gas or diesel up to an 8-liter or a 6-liter engine, and that's true. I was skeptical about this, and we have a Dodge Ram that is a turbo diesel. The battery was dead, and I was like, hold on a second, let me try the new NOCO Boost. So I went, I'd already charged it up, and this thing only weighs about 5 pounds, maybe 5 or 6 pounds. It's very small, lightweight. It has a light on it, and you know, LED lights, which, you know, this isn't a review of this particular product. I'm just kind of telling you, showing you what I've switching over to for some of my recovery. And it's fired up the Dodge just fine from a dead battery. Okay. I had to get this on video. So here we have a Dodge Ram 250 with a Cummins turbo diesel. Battery's dead. And I bought this NOCO Boost HD. GB70 is the model number. And supposedly, it's going to jump this thing. So, we will see how this works out. I'll give you the longest cables, but then again, I guess to keep it small, put this guy on. Okay. I think we just hit the power button there. And
am I clear of everything?
Looks like it. All right. So, lights are flashing. See if this bad boy fires up. Holy shit, it works. Actually, surprisingly quick. So far, I'm confident that this will jumpstart this guy or my Tacoma in the event that I, you know, drained the battery down or had something plugged in overnight that I didn't realize. I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, I'm pretty confident that this will get me out of that bind. So moving into the air down, air up kind of department, I've got some other products. So for airing down, I purchased, I think it was about 40 bucks, maybe $42 off Amazon. I'll have all the links to these products in the description down below. Full disclosure, they're Amazon affiliate links. So if you click on it and you purchase it, then I do get a small commission from Amazon. You don't have to use them, but full disclosure. So you can, I bought all of this stuff with the exception of the air compressor. I bought all these products on Amazon, including this ARB Easy Deflator, which is actually, it's awesome. So I have never really used any deflators. I come from an on-road, like car racing kind of background. When I say car racing, I used to do like SCCA and I build cars. And so deflating tires and all that stuff was new to me when I got into the off-road world, which has only been in the last year and a half since I bought my Tacoma and most recently acquired this guy, my 80 series Land Cruiser. So, you know, I'm kind of a noob to a lot of this stuff and I'm figuring it out as I go, but I'm also trying to be pretty smart about what I change, you know, what kind of products I get, because my whole objective is to not carry a lot of stuff, but just quality stuff, and it works really well and I can depend upon it. So, you know, this Jumpbox obviously isn't working out. We're ditching that. I've been using that for the last year, off-roading trips, camping trips, you know, and it got me through, but boy, does it's not fun. So what this guy does is it has a valve on here. And so in the closed position, you basically screw this onto your valve stem on your tire. So you go ahead and, you know, you screw it on. And then what you do is you unscrew the valve stem and pull it up. And then you basically slide this guy up and it lets air out super fast. I would say probably about 5 to 7 PSI every 20 or 30 seconds or so, maybe even more than that. So I haven't timed it officially, but it's crazy fast compared to the manual way I was doing it with the Jumpbox. And then you just, you know, when you're at the, you know, you push down on the little switch here to close it, and you look at your PSI. I usually run this guy at around like 18, 17 PSI, depends on the terrain, and it gets there really fast. So that's been working great. Now to air back up, this is kind of an area that, you know, I wasn't really sure where to go. So I kind of cheaped out a little bit. And when I say cheaped out, I just meant like I didn't go, you know, all out on an ARB compressor or anything like that, super fancy. I do plan to do that, but because I off-road in 2 different vehicles, I kind of wanted to be able to just have a small kit that I could keep together in a bag, not this bag, but a different bag, and move back and forth from vehicle to vehicle. Eventually, I'll kind of have some duplicate items and they'll just be dedicated in their respective vehicle. But for now, this is my solution. So I went with a PITTSBURGH air compressor. The actual model, the item number is 69285. And I'll link to this on their website. It won't be an affiliate link or anything, just a link to it if you want to buy it. I think they list it online. If you have a Harbor Freight, you can probably just go in and check it out. So this is the PITTSBURGH 12 volt. It's capable of, it says 150 PSI. Haven't tested that because I'm not airing anything up that much, but it's very fast. I'm really happy. It is a little big. I would say, you know, it takes up a little bit of space, but compared to this, it's not as much volume, and I can kind of slide this under things because it's not as tall or, you know, wide, I should say, if you're laying it down on the side. It does come with an extended hose that plugs into this. So ultimately, you're just going to plug this guy right into your battery, ideally while your vehicle is running, because you want as much power as you can get. You don't want to drain your battery. So, you know, negative, positive, or ground and positive. And then it has a switch on the back, on and off. And then you have this hose with a, you know, a quick detach system. I don't know what you refer to this, but it's just got the quick detach, kind of like your any other air tool or something. And this stretches quite a long ways. You can have this at the front of the vehicle and air up all 4 tires. And this does have some reach on it to the battery. It's worked great. I've only used it twice thus far, and it's worked really well for me. The air pressure gauge is off by about 4 PSI. So the bag that I keep this compressor in, I also keep a pressure gauge so I can get an accurate reading. And that's the only downside is, you screw this on, you're airing up. But now that I know where it's at, it's about 4 PSI under. I usually air these tires up. These are the, I got the BF Goodrich KO2s on here, the 33-inch. I usually air those up between 38 and 40. So I just kind of go to like 42 or 43. And that puts me around 39 or 40 PSI. So, I can check it. But if you do buy one of these, just be aware that the pressure gauge isn't super accurate. But it's always good to have a pressure gauge. And I also picked up from ARB on Amazon, which I'll have a link down below, is a 4x4 accessories kit, which basically just includes a ton of patches. It came with all these tools, some needle nose pliers. It came with a little knife, an Allen key to, I don't know what the Allen key is for, probably to adjust these handles here. Came with a ton of these patches, and I've used these a lot in the past. It may not always be a permanent fix, but it can get you from A to B. It came with additional valve stems and different tools to get the valve stems out, hand tool, some air caps, and of course you have the tool for grinding in, making the hole bigger, and then putting your patch through with this guy, pulling it back out. It also came with a air pressure gauge. I don't remember exactly the price on this thing. I want to say it was right around, I don't really remember, maybe $35 to $40, and I'm happy with it. So between all these items, I think I can pack down fairly small. As you can see, none of these are very big, and I can keep these in different parts of the vehicle. I usually keep them all together, just so if I have a problem, I can kind of only go to one spot. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions on a compressor, I will be eventually doing an onboard air, probably the ARB onboard air system for the Tacoma, and then I'll probably just leave this in the Land Cruiser. I don't know if I'll do onboard air in here as well, but regardless of the fact, if there's any other suggestions for air compressors, please let me know. Post a comment down below. And also, unrelated to this, I have been looking for a 270-degree awning for the Tacoma. I'm looking at that 23.0. Budget's around $1,000. I don't really want to spend a whole lot more than that. I've seen some nice ones for like $1,500, but I don't want to spend that much for just an awning. But what I really would like is one that kind of goes all the way around the back, or at least most of the way, the full 270, and doesn't always require to use poles. That's something I'd rather not use if I don't have to all the time. I understand if it's windy, you need them and guy them out, but if it's windy, I'll probably close the awning altogether. So if you have any suggestions for that besides the 23.0 model, post it down below, and I'll be happy to check it out, and I appreciate any suggestions. I've got a couple trips coming up. I'll be doing about, probably about 3,000 miles over the next 6 weeks. A lot of overlanding, also just some trips in that. So if you are interested in seeing any of that, I'd appreciate if you subscribe, hit like on the video, and follow me on Instagram too, because I oftentimes post stuff that kind of relates to my video content. I'm out here, this is private land near our ranch, and just some, kind of neat photos and stuff. So if you're into that, give me a follow, and I'll check you out and follow you back. So yeah, that's it. I am swapping this out. I'll be doing reviews on some of these items as I use them more, usually 6 months to a year before I like to do reviews on stuff. But these are kind of tried and true, the ARB, recovery gear, and a lot of people have been using these NOCOs for a long time. This is the GB70 model. So this is the 2000 amp. They also have like a 1500 or an 1800, which I think is the GB50 or 60 maybe. But I'll link these down below if you want to check those out. So that's pretty much it for me. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video, and y'all be safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.